Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Georgia and today I'm going to be watching episode 6 of Extraordinary Attorney Woo. If you want access to my uncut reactions, the link to the Patreon page will be in the description below. Last episode, young Woo was faced with some questions regarding her own morality and what kind of lawyer she wants to be. There was a very difficult case where the client they were defending was a corrupt man, so to speak. Young Woo has always viewed the law as what's right and wrong, and she always expects her clients to be in the right, but this time they were in the wrong. There were lots of things clouding her judgment, like she was working with attorney Kwon and he made it into a whole competition because they're on 1-year contracts and they each want to get it renewed so they can't work together. He's out for himself, so she was out for herself that episode too, and she just wanted to beat attorney Kwon. But then she received a letter from the man they were fighting against, and he posed a question: do you want to be a competent attorney who only wins in court, or do you want to be an attorney who reveals the truth? And in that case, what she did was she was a lawyer who was competent in court and she tried to win the case for the client, which again, that's attorney Kwon's mindset as well, and it's not necessarily wrong because that is their job. They have an obligation to their client to win their cases. But young Woo has too much of a strong moral compass and she felt so guilty afterwards that the other man got screwed over. So she's now taped that letter up in her office as a reminder that she never wants to feel like that again. She doesn't want a case like that again. She wants to help the people that deserve it. She wants to be on the right side of the law. It was a very interesting subject matter, and while the case was confusing to me, it highlighted some very important aspects of things that you don't really think about.
엄청 깊이 잠들었네요. 한낮인데.
내가 약을 먹였어요.
약을요?
What kind of
따님한테요?
medicine?
혜연이가 깨어있으면 나랑 떨어지려고 안 할 거거든요.
Why are you leaving her here?
하윤이 버리는 거 아닙니다. 입양 보내시면 안 돼요. 내가 교화소에 가야 될 것 같아서 잠깐만 맡기러 온 겁니다.
교화소요?
교도소 말입니다. 교도소요.
How long? Oh no.
하윤아, 엄마가 금방 올게.
I don't want to watch this case if it has a sad ending.
최수연 변호사가 공익 사건을 하나 맡았어요. 강도상해로 기소된 탈북자 사건.
Injury resulting in robbery. Oh.
최수연 변호사가 뭐랄까 좀 지나치게 열정적이라고 할까? 그러니까 피고인한테 감정이입을 과하게 하는 느낌이라.
Me as a lawyer.
그렇지? 가봐요.
Whoa.
시켜줘요.
I feel like she's gonna be doing that at any given moment now. Oh no, a lot of mess. This is her nightmare.
한 번 만났는데 성격 완전 시원시원해. 터프한 큰언니 느낌?
정명섭 변호사님은 네가 그 사건에 지나치게 열정적이라고 생각해.
She's being honest about it then.
나한테 널 워시키라고 했어. 와.
지내시는 건 좀 어때요? 많이 힘들죠?
지내는 거, 야 먹여주고 재워주고.
Staying away from her daughter is the hard part.
그냥 우리 딸 하윤이 보고 싶은 거.
자신이 이순영 씨에게 받을 돈이 있으니 계양심 씨 떨어 대신 받아가라고 했고요.
너가 탁 잡아내지 못하게 하려면 나랑 정이랑 이 여간 내기로 보이면 안 됐다고. 정신 똑바로 차리라. 웬만해선 돈 안 내놓을 거야.
I don't know if this is the answer though. What happened to the friend?
하나 치워.
Has she gone to prison too? Oh my god, a brick.
너 엄마 돈 내놓으라. 무슨 돈이야?
She's already been beaten up. Oh my goodness.
계양심 씨랑 김정희 씨는 현장에서 붙잡힌 거네요. 맞죠?
사실 우리 별로 많이 안 때려서.
She was already beaten up.
김정희 씨는 재판에 출석해 강도상해죄로 4년형을 받았는데 계양심 씨는 재판 전에 도주하셨습니다. 왜 그러셨습니까?
안 돼서 차 사고로 세상 떠났는데 내가 없으면 내 딸을 봐줄 사람이 아무도 없었어.
엄마를 기억할 수 있는 나이가 될 때까지 키우려고 도망쳤던 겁니까?
기치.
어미고래처럼.
Is this why she's so drawn to whales? Because of the maternal instinct in them? If she was a whale, her mother never would have abandoned her. she loves the like maternal instinct that's there for whales that she never had in her own life.
유치원도 가고 놀이방도 간다는데 하연이는 엄마 잘못 만나서
그래도 엄마와 함께였으니까 좋았을 겁니다.
길에
At least you love her. And you're
길게
there for her.
생각할까?
그랬을 겁니다. 그런 약해 빠진 소리 하지 마십시오. 4년형은 무슨 4년형입니까?
Whoa.
계양심 씨는 반드시 집행유예를 받아야 합니다.
Now she's the one that's passionate. What happened to the whoa?
아니 피고인한테 무슨 마성의 매력이 있나 봐. 피고인을
It's
만나기만
a
하면 다들
heartbreaking
이렇게
story.
뜨거워져서 집행유예를 받으려면 3년 이하의 형을 받아야 돼. 장량 감경뿐 아니라 법률상의 감경 사유까지 닥친 대로 찾아
But she already had bruises when they arrived, so they didn't actually beat her up as much as was said. She probably didn't even get any injuries from them.
이렇게 심하게 다쳤는데 무슨 소리야?
Not by them.
그런데요. 이렇게 다시 보니까 너무 심하게 다쳤는데요? 그 정도로 심한 상처를 입힐 수 있었을까요?
It's so obvious that those are old wounds. How did the police not notice that?
워워 좀 시키고.
Whoa.
사람이 있어. 근데 내가 그 사람을 안 좋아한다고 그 사람이 그렇게 생각을 하게끔 안 되는 것 같네.
번호를 쭉 나눠줘. 너는 1번, 넌 2번, 너 3번. 순서대로 다녀, 순서대로.
Oh, of course you'd give a stupid suggestion.
변호사.
넌 그게 중요하니? 어? 아 그냥 이렇게 뭐 자주 보고.
He's gonna think it's Attorney
뭐
Choi.
자주 보는.
설마 우영우는 아닐 거고.
Why can't it be?
됐어, 넌 바보야, 바보.
You really are.
아니 5년 전 사건이라 기억나는 게 별로 없어요. 형사 재판에서 제일 힘이 세고 뒤집기 힘든 증거는 바로 의사의 진단서죠. 한테쿠 쓰게 되는 임상적 추정이에요. 그러니까 객관적 검사 결과까지 뒷받침된 경우는 많지 않죠.
I wonder what the victim's doing now, whether she's still in debt or not.
탈북자에 대한 편견이 느껴진다고 그럴까?
칼럼 제목이
That's
뭐였는지
useful.
기억하십니까?
잠시만요. 좀 찾아볼게요.
Love how he was like, oh, I barely remember a case from 5 years ago, and then he remembers all this.
흑인 여성이 필자를 찾아왔다. 이 사건 얘기하는 거잖아요. 이거 읽고 나서 기분이 좀 씁쓸했어요.
이순영 씨 집은 2층이라고 하셨죠?
네, 가볼까요?
Whoa.
개 같은 짓을.
They both went to protect her. Wait, oh my god. Was that just... Oh, I don't know how to take that. Was that a moment of realization from Attorney Choi that he likes Young-woo? Or was that her internally fangirling because their hands touched? Please tell me she just picked up that he was going to protect her as well. They both had that instinct towards her. Oh, wow, 5 years down the line and she's still in the exact same situation. Oh.
경찰에 신고해야겠어요.
Yeah, he should get arrested. He basically did what they just were accused of.
여기 동백길 52번지.
All that woman cares about is the noise.
저것들 그냥 내가 어떻게든 쫓아내자 싶다.
So that's her
맞고 산
husband.
아줌마 보면 불쌍해.
Oh my
그냥 하루
gosh.
이틀 지내다 보니까 이 지겨운 세월.
I thought she was probably in debt to like loan sharks or something, and that's why she didn't have any money and they were coming around and beating her up every day. But it's her own husband. This is a domestic abuse case as well. Oh, Jesus.
경찰이 오면 좀 잠잠해지거든. 잠깐뿐이긴 해도.
So how did those girls get arrested and he hasn't been arrested in the multiple times he's been called?
저는 사건 전에도 신고하신 기록이 있지 않을까요?
그러네요. 신고 기록을 확보해야겠어요.
It's so awkward between them. Why?
괜찮.
우영우. 깜짝이야.
이준호 어때요?
Oh, don't try and play Cupid, please.
아무리 봐도 최수연 변호사 같아. 우리 준호가 좋아한다는 사람.
Oh no, but don't do this to her.
한바다 다니고 송무팀 변호사에 이
She
자주
actually
보는 사이,
likes
그럼
him.
최수연이지.
Stop.
준호 씨가 무슨 말을 한 거예요? 나에 대해서?
같이 사니까 많은 얘기를 하지 서로. 궁금해?
He's not even doing this to be mean either. He genuinely thinks he likes her. But this is so mean. He doesn't.
큰 권리로 자꾸 피해자를 오라가라는 겁니까? 이거는 2차
공정한 재판을 받을 권리는 국민의 기본권입니다.
변호인은
본관이 어딥니까?
What?
네?
본관이요. 그 변호인 성씨 말입니다. 근데 뭐가 그리 급해서 남의 말을 이렇게 뚝뚝 잘라 먹습니까?
판장님 혹시 풍산유 씨 아니십니까?
Suck up.
풍산은 안동시에 속한 지역이니까 넓게 보면은 제 판장님하고 저는
Okay, but
고양이라고
you
할수
can't bond
있겠습니다.
over this. That's bias.
정말 뭐 그러네요.
판장님,
Back to the
피해자
case,
이순영 씨를
please.
증인으로 부르는 것은
변호인은 본관이 어딥니까?
Yes.
방금 재판장님이 남의 말을 잘랐습니다.
Oh.
지금부터 이 재판이 끝날 때까지 변호인들은 할 말 있으면 손 들고 말하세요.
재판장님과 같은 층 판사실 쓰시는 최보현 판사님도 원주 최 씨입니다.
She has connections.
우리 그 종종 밥도 같이 먹어.
Lol. This judge is hella biased.
다른 또 변호사구나. 아이 참네. 아 우리 무슨 얘기했지?
피해자
case.
증인 소환에 대해 이야기하고 있었습니다.
그래. 그럼 뭐 부릅시다.
예?
아 맞구만 부가 아니래. 저들 잘 어울리죠.
As soon as it was shown in the preview, I knew it would be him.
그 우리 준호가 최수연 변호사 좋아하는 거 같지 않아요? 우변은 그런 거 잘 모르나? 내 짝은 어디 있을까?
With any luck, you won't have one. Her injuries aren't too different than those of 5 years ago.
최수연 변호사가 나가세요.
네?
배심원들이 피해자를 동정하고 있어서 딱딱하게 하면 안 될 것 같아. 최수연 변호사가 나가서 부드럽게 하세요.
God.
몸과 상처 자국이 많으시네요. 어쩌다 다치신 거예요?
있습니다. 본 사건과 무관합니다.
뭐 사건하고 관련이 있다니 뭐 계속 들어보겠습니다. 기억합니다.
Oh my god, this judge is so biased.
지난 2017년 11월 6일 경찰이 증인의 집으로 출동했던 것 기억하십니까?
기억이 나지 않습니다.
그날
It's happened so many
남편이
times.
이순영 씨를 때려 아래층에 사는 집주인이 경찰에 신고했습니다.
순 거짓말.
Young
남편한테 맞고 사니까 우리 나빠진 거니?
뭐 하시는 겁니까? 조용히 하세요.
경찰이 들이닥쳐서 시간도 없었습니다. 그런데 저 속셈 저 시꺼먼 것 좀 보라요.
This is so awful because this is the picture of a broken woman. She's being beaten by her husband all the time, but she still doesn't have the strength to leave him. If she testified this, she could get her husband put away in jail, but she probably still loves him. And that's the sad fact about abusers. They manipulate and they can bully as much as they want, but at the end of the day, their victims still love them deep down, and it's just, not to mention this is someone else's life on the line, and her keeping this a secret affects her, and she has children and everything.
한테 맞은 것까지 싹 다 긁고 모아서 나한테 전부 다 뒤집어 씌우고 있지 않습니까?
Young-woo, oh my, Young-woo.
전부 다
Whoa.
이 재판에서 변호인들은 할 말이 있으면 손을 먼저 들고 말해야 합니다.
The other attorney hasn't done that once, but okay.
피고인이 재판에 익숙하지 않아 흥분한 나머지 진심과는 다른 실언을 했습니다. 저 피고인이 진정할 수 있도록 잠시만 휴정해도 되겠습니까? 확 집어 주셨다가 이꼴나지 않았습니까? 재판에는 순서가
You
있고
have to let them
형식이
do their
있습니다.
job.
시장통 싸움이 아니라고요.
When the defendant speaks in court, it never ever leads to anything good, unless they're on the stand.
가만히 보고 있자니까 답답해서 그랬어요. 답답해서. 와.
이번에는
Young-woo.
우영우 변호사 가자.
She's the
저는-
savage one.
딱딱하니까요. 이순영 씨가 입은 상해가 피고인 때문이 아닌 남편의 폭행 때문일 수도 있다고 생각합니까?
아니요, 저는 여전히 그 피고인 때문이라고 생각합니다.
Because you don't like where she came from.
뭐 상처를 보면 알 수 있습니다.
They were old as fuck.
범죄 집단이 되어가는 탈북자들. 내가 뭐 편견을 갖고 있어서 그런 게
Oh,
아니라
sure.
통계가 말해주잖아요.
You're helping
탈북자들이
boost those
강력범죄율이
statistics
얼마나
up.
되는지 아세요? 무려 10%입니다. 2배 이상 수치가 높아요.
That doesn't mean she's automatically guilty, though.
멀쩡한 한국 남자 하나 폭력 남편 만들면서까지 저 탈북자들 좋은 일 시키는 게 이게 맞는 일입니까? 이 재판도 다
Okay,
세금으로
he's
하는
just put his
거잖아요.
foot in
그럼
it.
한국인을 보호하는 재판을 해야죠. 저 탈북자가 아니라
Not if they're the real perpetrator, you sicko.
탈북민도 대한민국 국민입니다. 그러니까 재판도 하는 거죠.
Whoever actually caused the injury should be the ones to go to jail. End of. My gosh, him again.
밥상에 똥을 싸놓고 밥을 먹고 있어?
What did he mess up?
너 때문에 물 건너간 정의로운 의사들의 모임 정의모! 훈병길이 그 컬럼에 대해서 얘기하기 싫다고 했다며. 근데도 한바다 변호사들이 끝까지 고집을 부려서 말하기 시켰다며.
Well, he was in the wrong.
경력이 몇 년인데 아직도 이런 실수를 하니. 극단 공익 사건이 뭐라고 그거 하나 때문에 수십억짜리 고객을 놓쳐.
That's embarrassing.
내 불찰이지. 이거 내 잘못도 맞고 나 지금 되게 쪽팔린 것도 맞는데.
Yeah, he just got scolded in front of everyone.
공익 사건, 그깟 탈북자 하나라고 생각하진 말자고. 뭐 수십억짜리 사건처럼은 아니더라도 열심히 하자고.
You always have to do what's best for your client. Doesn't matter because then they just have so much privilege. Oh, I feel bad for him. He's such a nice guy.
영우야, 자, 잡아.
아빠,
왜?
나는 왜 엄마가 없어?
Oh no. Although I do want to know the answer. It breaks my heart from both perspectives because while this child does have her mum and that, you know, hurts for young Woo and it makes her feel like she missed out on whatever, she also doesn't have a father either. And young Woo always had her father and her dad must have always felt like he wasn't enough because, you know, children do need their mothers. Especially girls, I'd say. You always need a mother figure in your life. He was always there for her, by her side, and I feel like sometimes young Woo overlooks that and doesn't appreciate how much her father did for her. But I do want to know who her mother is, why she doesn't have a mother, because you would assume that she knows that she's dead by that age. Like, you would assume he would have talked about her if she was dead. So that must mean she's still alive. And if she is the former CEO of Taesan, then... Oh... But I just want to know her father's point of view on all of this. Did he know where she was all this time? What happened between them? Why did she leave after giving birth? So many questions.
개인재산 강도죄가 그것입니다. 사람의 생명과 건강에 위험을 주는 폭행, 협박을 하여 개인의 재산을 강도한 자는 4년 이하의 노동교화형에 처한다.
폭행은 사망 혹은 중상해를 일으킬 만큼 강력해야 하며 협박 역시 범죄자의 요구에 응하지 않으면 개인 재산 빼앗은 죄에 해당한다고 합니다.
뭐 강제로라도 꼭 받아내야겠다고 생각한 거 아니었나요?
Everyone's warning her against it.
무슨 수를 써서라도 받아내려고 갔습니다. 그거 내 돈이지 않습니까?
Oh no.
간법이 어떻고 그런 거 솔직히 나 잘 모르겠습니다.
No, that was your out.
네.
I feel like they're gonna lose now.
결과가 어찌됐든 두 사람은 최선을 다했어.
Oh, if they lose this as well, then he's completely fucked because he got rid of the doctors. Oh! Oh. Whale! So that means it's solved, right?
뭡니까?
She's still raising her
여기
hand.
어떻게들 들어왔어요?
재판장님, 변론 제기 신청을 하고자 합니다.
뭐가 정 그렇게 계속 불만이면 항소하세요. 피고인이 한 짓이 아니라더니 그 다음엔 북한법까지 들먹이면서
They've changed their tactics so many times.
정도 부릴 때가 있고 안 부릴 때가 있는 거예요.
씨가 위대한 어머니라서 이러는 겁니다. 어미고래처럼요. 오성애는 감경 사유가 아니지만 딸이 엄마를 기억할 수 있는 나이가 될 때까지 키워놓고 교도소에 가야 라는 생각 하나만으로 그 모든 시간을 견딘 위대한 어머니의 사정을.
That's so heartbreaking.
둘 다 당장 나가지 않으면 경위를 부르겠습니다.
If only they'd said that in front of the jury, I would have softened to that 100%.
새끼부터 죽이기야. 연약한 새끼에게 작사를 던져 새끼가 고통스러워하며 주의를 맴돌면 어미는 절대 그 자리를 떠나지 않는데.
Oh no, this whale fact is making me cry more than the case.
통표적인 어미를 향해 두 번째 작사를 던지는 거지.
하여간 인간들이란.
버리지 않으면 자기도 죽는다는 걸 알았을 거야. 그래도 끝까지 버리지 않아. 만약 내가 고래였다면 엄마도 날 안 버렸을까?
How do you answer that?
피고인을 징역 1년 9월에 처한다.
Oh, it's significantly
다만
reduced.
이 판결 확정일로부터 3년간 피고인에 대한 형의 집행을 유예한다. 보관차를 받을 것과 80시간의 사회봉사를 명한다.
Oh my god!
후이긴 하나 자신이 저지른 죄를 잊지 않고 처벌을 받을 목적으로
He
자수한
definitely
점을
took the mother thing into
특별
consideration.
양형인자로 참작한다.
재판장님이 똑똑한 거 아닐까? 저 짬에서 나온 묘수.
Oh my god. That judge actually turned out to be the best.
젊은 층 대상으로
Both of
홍보한다던
them
지금 딸 데리고 오는 고객님들
experiencing
계셨어요.
things that they missed out on.
고객님 따님이 있으세요? 전 아들만 하나 있어요.
Oh yeah, they mentioned she had a son at the start, and I wondered who her son was. I thought he would be significant. So Youngwoo has a brother, potentially.
난 괜찮아.
가봐.
Oh my god, wait. They've all got the mothers standing on that side of the escalator. It's almost as if Attorney Choi is a mother figure to Youngwoo. That's probably true. Oh, wait. Oh. She also organizes things. They're doing it in the same freaking shop. Oh. Her own mother just walked past her and she doesn't even know it. That's got to be the reveal, surely. Oh, look at that. The mother and the daughter riding the whale. Wow, so I'm like 99% sure now that she must be Youngwoo's mother. Otherwise, they are tricking us so hard. That's so interesting. But does that mean if Youngwoo meets her and finds out that she's her mother, does that mean she'll want to move to her old firm? I'm a bit confused about her because they said she was the former CEO of Taesan Law Firm, but then she also was on about hiring Youngwoo to work there, so she must still have some sort of jurisdiction there, but she's the former CEO, so what is her title now? This episode, wow, the mother-daughter dynamics. I feel like it's hard for me, as someone who has such little knowledge on Korean culture and the divide between North and South Korea, it's hard for me to empathize as much as I think other people would. I feel like if you were from Korea or had a lot of knowledge on the situation, this episode would be so much more hard-hitting. It was still hard-hitting to me, but I don't think I really understand how serious the implications of being a North Korean defector is and how they are treated in society and how exiled they are, because I know that there is like a big divide and defectors aren't usually treated that well. Once they have moved to South Korea, there's all sorts of prejudice against them, but I don't really know why or what really happens. But it was still such a heartbreaking case, and it was so, I love the way it linked in with Youngwoo and her having these mixed feelings, because she can see a mother who loves her child so much and could never ever consider leaving her. So it's like, why did her own mother leave her? Why was I not enough for my own mother? There's those kind of feelings that come into play there. And then not to mention the fact that it ties into her relationship with the whales as well. That's probably a big part of why she has such a fascination with them, because they are beings that care so much for their children and they would rather die than leave their children. So why did her own mother leave her? It looks like we might be getting some answers to that soon if that woman is her mother, but I mean, they share the same traits. They were both freaking tidying up the store and organising it, and we've seen how Youngwoo is so particular about that stuff. Like when she receives a stack of paper, she orders it, and she's always rearranging Attorney Jung's desk. They were right there, and next episode they look like they're going to be meeting. So wow, there are so many great characters in this show. Like Attorney Choi, I think I'm just like fully in love with her now. She is great. It's so funny because in the first episode I thought she was such a mean person, calling Youngwoo an idiot and stuff, but now I think it just comes from a place of love. She calls her an idiot, but we call friends idiots all the time. They are friends. So she called her an idiot because she knew her, not because she genuinely thinks she is. She knows that she's a genius. But without this background information, it made her seem like such a bitch in episode 1. But like, I call people idiots all the time, but I don't actually think they are. So yeah, it was just banter, I suppose. And it didn't come across that way, but she's great and I love their dynamic so much. You could see this episode how close they really are. She didn't get annoyed at her once this episode because they genuinely love each other and care for each other. And oh my god, that scene when the abusive husband busts out, which oh my god, we never got anything more to do with that, so that means that poor lady is still living with an abusive husband. But that scene when both Joon-ho and attorney Choi went to protect Young-woo instinctively, they both had the same instinct, and now freaking attorney Kwon is messing things up and he's being mean. He's not intentionally being mean, but you know, it's mean because he's now put it in attorney Choi's head that Joon-ho likes her, although I hope that she can see sense and realise what he was doing in that situation beforehand. But because it's coming from his friend, it makes it seem like he has been talking about her the way he put it, so she's now got a slither of hope, and she's fancied him for a long time as well, so that's just harsh. And then he also said it to Young-woo as well, so now Young-woo's got it in her head that Joon-ho likes her. Oh, it's a whole mess. I love Triangle though. But we all know where it's going to go, and that Joon-ho definitely solely has feelings for Young-woo. Next episode, it looks like it's getting there. It's getting there. We have Young-woo acknowledging her own feelings, and last episode I said I wasn't really sure how she feels about Joon-ho romantically, but now I've got my answers because she said her heart pounded. I love Attorney Jung so much. The characters in this show are so good. I feel like I love all of the main cast. Besides Attorney Kwon, I don't love him as a person, but I still like his character. Like we always need a villain and an asshole in a show to hate. But I love Attorney Jung, that he got scolded for losing a massive client, but he still told them to do their best and treat this case the same as they would any other case, because money doesn't matter, it's about the client. I love that he is a senior attorney, but he also has that moral compass there. Like, he knows what's right and wrong. He's not going to instantly try to win back the doctors and just throw this case aside because they're not gaining money from it. He has that good moral lawyer instinct in him. Oh, I love him too. And this episode also highlighted how biases and doctors' opinions are influential. He said about the crime rate being so much higher with North Korean defectors and whatnot, but he was contributing to that by disputing other facts. Like, he instantly just said it was a North Korean defector, and if he could do it, so many other people could have done it before. Maybe that's why the crime rate is higher for North Korean defectors or North Korea in general, because of the prejudice. People have that mindset that they are a criminal group, so they just automatically assume that they did it. It's probably his own bias that adds to the statistics. And the judge actually turned out to be a king. Who knew? He was so he was so brash at the start. He's definitely not one that abides by the rules and the law. He basically was just doing what he wants, because he definitely showed bias at the start. He was so on the prosecution side, and then once he found out Attorney Choi had a connection, he was like, oh, and then he was on their side for a bit. And I think he definitely took what he heard outside of the courtroom about her being a mother into consideration, because he probably knew about the confession mitigation thing all along, but was just waiting for them to say it. But as they didn't say it, if they hadn't gone into his room and made the point about her being a mother and whatnot, I think he would have just gone with the original 4-year sentence that the jury decided. But because they said she's a mother who wanted to spend more time with her daughter to be remembered, it struck him and his heartstrings, so he did their job for them and brought the confession into it himself. He basically made the case points for her and decided based on his own point, which is amazing. I love that. We had a good ending for that case, and it definitely deserved one. I really didn't think we would get a good ending with the way it was going. I thought we'd lose, but we didn't, and everything was happy in that regard. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching my reaction to episode 6 of Extraordinary Attorney Woo. If you want to watch my uncut reactions to Extraordinary Attorney Woo, the link to the Patreon page will be in the description below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for episode 7. Bye!